Galaxy S23 Ultra is probably the best phone available right now, with powerful equipment, excellent and very versatile camera, beautiful display and user interface adapted for Samsung, which fully uses the integration with the S Pen stylus. S23 Ultra usually leads most of the top charts. Will this change after the release of the iPhone 15 Pro Max? The next big thing Apple will release in September this year, and unlike previous years, we will finally see a lot of improvements on board. Of course, there are always serious differences between the best Samsung and Apple phones. However, ignoring the significant differences in the operating system and ecosystem between the iPhone 15 Pro Max and Galaxy S23 Ultra, we can find that these two phones are not so much different from each other. Both promise to become the two best and super premium applications on the smartphone market in 2023, but let's take a closer look at them. But before we move on to the battle of the best, I recommend that you consider the possibility of subscribing to our Telegram channel via the link in the description or through the use of the Telegavatas and find us in the top of the list. Here are the most important insights and news from the industry, as well as my opinion. I am waiting for you there. As for the design, we have some serious rumors that Apple will use a titanium frame on the phone, which will not only reduce the weight, but also improve the overall strength of the phone. There are even rumors that the phone will use a slightly curved rear panel, which will make it more convenient to handle. The frames will also probably be the thinnest among all the phones, and their thickness should be only 1.55 mm. This will easily surpass the thickness of the current king of side panels, Xiaomi 13, with a width of 1.81 mm. Another important change that will appear in the iPhone line is the sound switch, which will be replaced by a customizable action button, similar to the one in the Apple Watch Ultra. This will allow users of the iPhone 15 Pro Max to customize the button and activate it using various functions. Oh, and of course, Apple finally joins the USB Type-C club. Well, what about the Galaxy S23 Ultra? Well, here the design has practically not changed compared to the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Nevertheless, the Galaxy S23 Ultra with a premium design combining a flat lower and upper frame with a slightly curved display and a triangular S Pen stylus is one of the best phones of the beginning of 2023. Although we do not know how much the iPhone 15 Pro Max weighs, but there is a good chance that the Galaxy S23 Ultra will be slightly lighter than the iPhone. Plus, the ergonomics of the slightly curved design can give the impression that you are holding a more compact phone. Now, what about the display? The iPhone 15 Pro Max will be supplied with a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR display with a frequency of 1 to 120 Hz, which provides a rather pleasant scroll through the entire interface. However, in addition to the thinner frames, the iPhone 15 Pro Max display may not be any serious improvements. It will probably be a repeatable use of the iPhone 14 Pro Max screen. Meanwhile, the 6.8-inch Samsung display has one small hole for selfies, which definitely helps it look cleaner compared to the dynamic island. In the rest, the Samsung phone also offers a dynamic refresh rate up to 120 Hz, a very clear QHD Plus display, and can also achieve high brightness under certain lighting conditions, although not as much as the iPhone 14 Pro Max and, perhaps, the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The Galaxy S23 Ultra also has an ultrasound fingerprint scanner built into the display, which allows you to quickly and without much effort unlock the phone and authorize online payments. The iPhone 15 Pro Max will not have such an offer, and it will continue to rely on the good old Face ID biometrics. Performance. According to rumors, Apple is utilizing the 3nm Apple A17 chipset in the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The use of a 3nm processor will allow billions of transistors to be placed in the upcoming Apple chipset. This is a big deal, because at the output, the chip improves both performance and energy efficiency in all directions, making the iPhone 15 Pro Max the leader in performance and a very durable phone. Meanwhile, Samsung uses a 4nm Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor for the Galaxy in all its phones Galaxy S23 around the world, which is a serious change for Samsung, which previously used Snapdragon and Exynos chipsets in their phones. Note that the chipset inside the Galaxy S23 Ultra is not the most ordinary. Samsung released a special, slightly curved version of the usual Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, which provides a little better performance. We expect that the Apple A17 Bionic will be much faster and more effective than Qualcomm's top offer. Such a large slope in the thickness of the silicon up to 3 nanometers means that Apple A17 is likely to be the most productive chip in the industry for some time, and can even compete with some desktop PCs. The iPhone 15 Pro Max will be supplied with 8GB of RAM, which corresponds to the same amount of memory as the basic Galaxy S23 Ultra. However, iOS uses memory a little differently, more effectively and more economically by managing system resources, thanks again to its more capable chip. Thus, despite the fact that two devices can have the same amount of RAM, the iPhone 15 Pro Max can take up more applications. But the Galaxy has a 12GB version of RAM, which brings the device in parity with this parameter. Nevertheless, the Galaxy S23 Ultra is likely to be a more productive phone in terms of user experience. Thanks to the real multitasking, a separate screen, as well as a full-fledged desktop. Thanks to the real multitasking, a separate screen, as well as a full-fledged desktop text solution, not to mention the convenience of using the stylus S Pen, you can certainly do much more tasks on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Solution, not to mention the convenience of using the stylus S Pen, you can certainly do much more tasks on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. As for the storage, we expect that the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be available in versions of 128, 256, 512 and 1TB. On the one hand, the Galaxy S23 Ultra comes with 256, 512 and 1TB of memory, which is less flexible, but on the other hand, you get 256GB of memory from the basic version of the phone. The iPhone 15 Pro Max will be supplied with iOS 17 from the box and receive basic software updates and security for at least 5 years, at least until 2028. The Galaxy S23 Ultra will receive support for software updates for 4 years, until 2027 and security updates until 2028. The iPhone 15 Pro Max will most likely retain the main 48-megapixel camera with high resolution, which debuted on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The Galaxy S23 Ultra is equipped with a 200-megapixel camera with a sensor of 6.2. However, a major change will be the new periscopic camera of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which will provide 5- and 6-fold optical zoom. However, the new periscopic camera of the iPhone will not be able to compete with the 10-fold periscopic camera of the Galaxy S23 Ultra, which provides up to a 100-fold digital zoom. As for the video, the Galaxy S23 Ultra has achieved improved image stabilization as well as staged HDR, providing an excellent dynamic range even in low-light conditions. 8K video is supported with a speed of 24 and 30 frames per second. At the same time, the iPhone 15 Pro Max will probably re-establish the standard of video recording, as well as all previous top iPhones. But do not forget that the S23 Ultra has a much better slow-mo video. It is 4 times better than the current iPhone 14 Pro Max. The S23 Ultra can record video in 1080p format with a speed of 960 frames per second. The iPhone 14 Pro Max can record video in 1080p format with a speed of only 240 frames per second. Thus, the slow-mo video of the S23 Ultra is 4 times slower than the best models of the iPhone from Apple. And this is unlikely to change with the release of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, although let's see. We do not know what battery the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be supplied with. Most likely, it will have a battery capacity of 4,200 to 4,300 mAh, like its predecessor. However, thanks to the new and more efficient 3nm chipset, we sincerely expect that the iPhone 15 Pro Max will have a much better autonomy compared to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The latter has shown itself quite well in battery tests, so the affairs of the next legislator of Apple's fashion look even more promising. On the other hand, the Galaxy S23 Ultra has a 5,000 mAh battery, which also helps it to last quite a long time, almost reaching the autonomy of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The iPhone 15 Pro Max will most likely support wire charging with a power of up to 27 watts. The Galaxy S23 Ultra supports wire charging with a power of 45 watts. It will also be available wireless charging MagSafe with a power of 15 watts on the iPhone 15 Pro Max and fast wireless charging 2.0 with a power of 15 watts on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. The Samsung phone also has reverse wireless charging, unlike the iPhone. In summary, the iPhone 15 Pro Max promises to be an important evolutionary step for Apple, bringing many changes to the already established and super successful line. The iPhone 15 Pro Max will improve all the main aspects of working with a regular user's phone: camera, performance, and time of autonomous operation. However, these changes will not be cheap, although there are rumors that Apple will raise the price by $100. This means that the iPhone 15 Pro Max can cost $1,200 for the entry-level model at 128GB. This will be one of the few cases when Apple raises prices for its best iPhone. But again, this imitation may not be. Let's see. Meanwhile, the Galaxy S23 Ultra is probably the best Android phone available right now. It provides an amazing balance of various functions, hardware, universal camera, and total cost, although the official starting price is the same $1,200. However, thanks to the large number of offers and discounts available almost all the time, you can usually find the best Samsung phone for a lower price. Friends, write in the comments your opinion on how the iPhone 15 Pro Max will turn out to be better or worse than the Galaxy S23 Ultra. It will be interesting to read your opinion in the comments under this video. Thank you for watching. Good luck to everyone.